Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the morning show. But before I get into this whole thing, I'm just reading this weird article on Play Newsstand, and it says woman arrested for shooting pellets at Pokemon Go players. So I'm not gonna read the whole article, but just give you guys basically the rundown of it. So, a 29-year-old woman that I guess her name is Patricia Champagne, who lives in Toronto. Um, from a rooftop, fired off four pellets from a pellet gun at Pokemon Go players because the area that she lives at has, I guess, a gym in that area and has been seeing a lot more people showing up in that area. Basically, uh, so she took it upon herself to fire off pellets at Pokemon Go players. But the whole thing is that no one was hurt. So no one was hurt. She didn't actually hit anybody with a pellet, but she was shooting at Pokemon Go players with a pellet gun, and she was quickly apprehended by what was it? York Regional Police officers, I guess. Wow, that's just I don't know. There's just so much stuff going on. Pokemon Go has gone so majorly like huge. There's always news about Pokemon Go, guaranteed. Even some right now, Pokemon Go Unlimited Incense and Lucky Egg cheats revealed. Cheating, and taking shortcuts on this game, and it's like it's insane. But yeah, Patricia Champagne, 29-year-old woman, shoots at Pokemon Go players with a pellet gun. I just wanted to share that real quick. I was reading that before I started this broadcast. Thought that was kind of funny. So, anyways, so today's a little bit different. Not a lot of tech news really going on out there. I will get into Cyanogen and their latest blog post. But I just kind of wanted to talk about this recent dry spell with mobile technology, and I'm pretty sure everyone has noticed this lately. It's not just, from bloggers such as myself or some of my other colleagues, but it has really died down, even for like major bloggers, well-known tech bloggers, and even some of the more mainstream ones you can really see the effects of what's going on. And I mean, when you think about it, just basically like way back in the day, you would go say you would check out someone like you would check out Techno Buffalo, you would check out Foam Dog, right? They would have a video posted up on YouTube, and then you could just see like how it was back then. There were the comments was getting over flooded with everyone's questions and concerns about the topic of that video. Um, when you look at the like and dislike counts, both were pretty much extremely high, and that's because people were dislike buttons. But basically, the whole point was that the interaction and the interest of viewers was pretty high back then. When you look at it now, it's not even like that. Mainstream bloggers are, at best within the first hour of uploading a video are getting maybe 6 likes compared to like 106 likes. And maybe they're getting like 1 dislike compared to getting like 50 dislikes. The comments is maybe, at best, maybe 6 or 7 people in a conversation in the comment section of the video. And if that's happening to, major like mainstream bloggers, just imagine some of the top name bloggers out there are feeling the effects, and it trickles down all the way down to even me, like the average nobody, is starting to feel the effects of it. And so the question is being said is that is tech blogging dying? And the way that I could answer this is it's not dying. It's just there's not really much going on out there lately. We're in a dry spell. The only real news that is keeping a lot of these major bloggers afloat is talking about the S7 Edge. root for the S7 Edge, all these things about the S7 and the S7 Edge. I mean, just the S7 is pretty much like in news, and then the Galaxy Note 7 is in news, and really that's all that bloggers can really resort to as far as pumping out a video that might seem interesting. And if it's not the S7, then it's Pokemon Go. How to do this with Pokemon Go. How to cheat with Pokemon Go. What's the expected new Pokemon in Pokemon Go? It's like it's either the S7 or Pokemon Go is really the only thing that is even usable to say to have some sort of interesting blog video. You could talk about the HTC 10, but because a lot of bloggers have basically were disappointed with the HTC 10 and only like a handful actually enjoyed the device, it pretty much just like fell off on the wayside. The G5 when it came out, people were a little interested in its idea for modular technology, but then that kind of fell to the wayside. And so with the Moto Z and the Moto Z that came out, basically it's catching its shine. But because it's been so dull in the last, I would say the last 6 months, it's been pretty dull. That what should be like with bloggers that are talking about the Moto Z, what should be pretty I guess I want to say exciting, or just more of like a hot topic is dull, because a lot of people are just like they're not expecting anything grand anymore. I mean, the ZTE Action 7, real nice device, but it didn't really get much of the attention that I would think that it would have gotten. The OnePlus 3 being in the hands of just about anyone out there that blogs about mobile tech is not getting its shine. There's just, it's not, the whole field itself is just not dying. It's just in a dry spell. And I think it's just really because innovation has really gone down. And I said this last year in a couple of blogs, is that with innovation slowly going on a downward spiral, it was going to be bad for everyone, but not just for manufacturers and tech companies, but also for the tech bloggers and also for the mainstream bloggers. It was going to become really bad, because I mean that's what everyone mostly looked forward to in the last 5 years. Every time someone blogged about something, it was we had different things to really talk about. We had new features packed in Android to talk about. We had things that was going in iOS to talk about. It was always fun, and it was always interesting and entertaining. But at this point right now, there hasn't been much innovation going on with either company, with either Apple or Google, and that needs to change. And they are saying there are rumors floating around that there is going to be some sort of big push with Apple and iOS and the iPhones, and I'm hoping for it. I'm hoping that there's something that is going to be thrown out there that's just going to like wow a bunch of people. Like we haven't had a good wow in a long time. We haven't had like a good shock and awe, like something that made everyone just go bananas and they can't wait to get it. I mean, right now one of the only things I know that people are really excited to get really is just 2 applications called Allo and Duo, which I've made a blog about those. But those weren't even enough to have people like superly wowed. And I think that's what we're missing. We're missing that great excitement in something being developed, and that's why it really affects everyone. I mean, I don't think anyone really expected it to go this this dull and this bland, but now. It pretty much shows everybody, like if the major companies out there don't have innovative ideas, and they don't put and even if they do have innovative ideas, if they don't put it into some sort of like effect, then it's going to just trickle its way down from them all the way down to us YouTubers that talk about mobile technology and new phones coming out and new features to expect in the latest versions of operating systems that's coming out. We start to feel the effects. I mean, like I think what was it, like 3 months ago, I had a steady pace, a steady subscriber account build, which basically to me was like maybe one or two new subscribers a week at best. That has slowed down, but it's not slowed down just because like no one cares or no one likes videos or anything like that. It's just no one's really on YouTube all that much to be to looking around to what other bloggers are doing. That's really where it's all at. I mean, everyone else is out doing Pokemon Go, which they should. That's a good thing. They should get up and move around and stuff like that. But at the same time, too, other people that were like enthusiasts to mobile technology just find it so dull that they don't even really go and look anymore for it. That's the absolute sad thing about it. But I feel I feel that it's going to pick up. It's going to pick up in the next several months. It's going to come back up. So big question about it is that if it's dying, it's not dying. It'll get there. It'll get back to where it needs to be, and we'll have a lot more to talk about, especially with 7.0 Android coming out, and I think iOS 10 coming out. We'll have a lot more to say, a lot more to showcase and talk about. So, yeah, it's not dying. Mobile technology blogging is not dying. It's just in a dry spell. Now I got a message about what this is, and pretty much most of you guys know what it is, but it's just a vaping mod. I don't want to call it an e-cig because e-cigs are like those ones that you find like at CVS. The ones are called Blue or Enjoy. Those are e-cigarettes in my opinion. This is a vaping mod for vaping. I'm not gonna go too much into it. I know it's considered tech, but I'm just not gonna go too much into it. But yeah, for those people that's like, well, what the hell are you doing and why are you smoking? It's not smoking. It's vaping, and this is a vaping mod. I mean, this right here is a battery mod itself for regulating power to what is called an RDA on top. So let's get that out of the way so people don't have to ask anymore. Alright, so moving on, the LG G Stylo gets another update. Isn't that insane? Like the G Stylo, and I'm not talking about the Stylo 2, but the original G Stylo on Boost Mobile has had, we're already at ZV9. So that's absolutely crazy. I mean, when the phone first came out, it was on 5.0.2 Lollipop, and then it got updates to 5.1.1 Lollipop, and it had a couple updates on that version, and then it got a huge bump up to 6.0 Marshmallow, but just 6.0 Marshmallows, not 6.0.1. And then after the update to Marshmallow, and then it's had like a couple of other, the ZV8, which fixed some bug issues, and then now we're on to ZV9, which is supposedly supposed to fix like the MMS. They have like an MMS patch to fix that issue, because I guess some people were having some experiences with some bugs, like bug issues with text messaging and multimedia messaging on the G Stylo, and so yeah, it was like a 344 megabyte zip file. Basically, I didn't actually pull the update file. I just updated my G Stylo, and I really didn't see much of a difference. So it was kind of like a letdown, in my opinion. And I think a lot of people are saying the same thing. Like they're not noticing anything too like dramatically different with the G Stylo, and that's absolutely sad. I mean, for me, there's people that have the G Stylo that want to stick with the G Stylo because they feel that it's still, even though it has less internal memory and less RAM than the Stylo 2, they like the display, the body build, they preferred that than the Stylo 2, and so some people did an upgrade to the Stylo 2. One thing I would have hoped for with the ZV9 update was the fact that they would have updated LG's UI to UX 5.0. That's what I was hoping that was in this build. And there's a fly buzzing around that's bothering me. came in when I had the window open earlier. Maybe I should open the window and let it out, or see if it wants to go back out. Anyways, that's what I was hoping for with the G Stylo was, getting the UX 5.0. Open the window, I can hear neighbors talking. But yeah, getting the UX 5.0 update. I mean, that's what I was hoping that it would have gotten with this update, but it didn't get that. It supposedly it was just multimedia messaging. That's basically all it was just an update, security for that and several other security updates. So that was kind of sad. I think the file left already. Close the window. But I mean, that goes to tell you, just how good, how popular the G Stylo is, for the fact that it continues to get support, and that's the best part, and that's what I like to see, is support like that. I mean, normally when it comes to Android devices, they maybe get, if they get any updates, they probably get maybe 1, 2, maybe 4 or 5 at best. 5 at best, and then development just slows down. So this is actually quite amazing that the G Stylo got another update, and I hope it continues to get development support in the future, because the G Stylo is a phenomenal phone, and even its more stronger twin that's on Metro PCS is still a popular phone on there. I mean, compared to the Stylo 2 Plus, some people stuck with the G Stylo on Metro PCS instead of upgrading to the Stylo 2 Plus. So basically, the Stylo series from LG is very popular, and kudos to that. So more LG news, basically. Still haven't found anything or any talks of a possible another variant of the Vault series from LG. The Vault series being an actually real nice, I would say a real nice mid-ranger or low budget series. I did a video wish list of what I wanted to see in the Vault 3. Now I know that's a little, it's a little out there. A lot of the things that I asked for, and it probably won't even come to that. But I honestly, just from, reading up on different sites, I honestly don't think that there will be another Vault series that comes out, or maybe not anytime soon. Will there be a Vault series? Hold on real quick. Allergies really messing with me. My apologies. But anyways, I don't think there's going to be another Vault series anytime soon. Maybe in the future, if people are actually in demand for it, they might actually bring one. But I don't think as far as what they've been doing with the Stylo series, because the Stylo is very, very popular, so they made an effort to actually have another variant come out. I would love to see another Vault series. And besides LG doing this, I had a conversation with a friend, and with all the phones that HTC is putting out, one thing I would love to also see is to see the return of the EVO series. The HTC EVO series was just really amazing for what it was back then, and of course it was HTC's flagship series before they switched over to the One. And I think they, even if they're going to rely on the One being their flagship series for HTC, at least bring back the EVO series as kind of like a backup, kind of like how, right now you have, you have the Galaxy series and you have the Note series on Samsung, and then those are their flagships. But then underneath them, you have the A and the J series as the mid-range to low budget backups to the flagships, and I think that's what they should do with on HTC's end, is bring back another EVO. I mean, that would just having that come out there, like the new HTC EVO, whatever they're gonna have as a secondary name to it. You know how much popularity that would get, and not for specs, not for the build quality or anything like that. Just from the name alone, would have everyone buzzing again about HTC and EVO. I mean, one of my favorite devices from the EVO series was the EVO 3D. Sure, it didn't pick up I guess HTC thought it would, but recording videos in 3D and then having it posted on YouTube. I mean, that was pretty awesome. I think one person that showed the demo of that was Chris Chavez from Fandroid. If you actually go to his personal YouTube page for where he used to blog on it, you'll find a video that he did. I think it was at a concert that had Drake and I think Maroon 5. And he recorded that with his Evo 3D. He recorded it in 3D mode. So, I mean, you would need, you would need an Evo 3D to watch it actually. If not that, just something that has a display that supports 3D imaging, and you should be able to watch it in 3D mode. But yeah, bringing back the Evo would be something that I think HTC should consider, and it'd possibly help out in their little dry spell. But even if they brought back the Evo as a mid-range device, and say like not a lot of people actually took to it, but the communities of prepaid companies that rely on mid-range and low-budget devices, they would definitely appreciate the Evo or the return of the Evo series. I mean, that's something that's just you know that's like there. I mean, for right now, if you think back to like the early days of Android devices, the Galaxy S series from Samsung is the longest running one that remains um, in flagship status. The HTC switched the Evo over to the One. Motorola switched what they had to the Moto Z. Now it used to be the Moto X. Now it's the Moto Z. Yeah, a lot of companies have eventually tried naming their flagship series, something new. Like LG. LG to me has like the worst one because it causes such mass confusions. When you think about the early days of Android, you had the G1 that was offered by T-Mobile, and that was by HTC, and then you had the G2 that was also an HTC device. And then, on Motorola for their mid-range, you have the Moto G, the G1, the G2, the Moto G3, and now the Moto G4. And then on LG, you have the G series. So, like, the letter G is very popular in Android when it comes to manufacturers, and LG using that as a name for their flagship. I honestly think that LG should bring back the Optimus series. The LG Optimus, whether, that was, like, mid-range and low budget, but the Optimus, the name it rolls. Everyone knows what it is. When you talk about an Android smartphone that is an Optimus, everyone knows instantly LG. The naming schemes is just gotten so scrambled. It's like the only thing that could possibly come good out of this situation, in this quick little analogy of mine is making it an omelet. As like the closest, I mean, you couldn't really make a sunny side up egg with that because you keep changing everything. So, the whole naming schemes just throws people off. Else is just like, oh, okay, and eventually people just don't care anymore. They don't care because it just constantly keeps changing. So I mean, for me, LG kind of go back towards the Optimus name because that was synonymous with LG. HTC bring back the Evo series. Whether they want to have it flagship or mid-range, but just bring it back because everyone enjoyed that. That's about everybody. I don't want to say everybody did, but just about everybody enjoyed that. And it also would bring some much-needed attention to HTC. And everyone stopped using the letter G. That's the thing. It just causes mass confusion. Like if someone says, well, what smartphone are you rocking? Because no one in the streets, and I'll tell you this much right now, that I know this for a fact, no one in the streets calls a phone exactly by like what the name is. So if I go to someone and I say, what kind of phone is that? They're gonna tell me, oh, it's a G4. And you gotta think to yourself, you gotta actually look at the phone, and you gotta actually say to yourself, does that look like an LG device? Does that look like a Motorola device? That's what I said. It causes mass confusion because everyone's like, you gotta look at the phone, you gotta see if it's a Motorola or an LG because they're not gonna sit there and tell you this is my LG G4, this is my Motorola G4. No one's really gonna go and go through that whole length of just pronouncing the manufacturer's title, the phone name, and model number, and all that other crap. They're not gonna do that. So Yeah, I've had someone, I go up to someone and I tell them what kind of phone you rocking, and they're like, oh, I got a G2. And and before I can even actually, really tell them anything about their phone, I had to wait until I can see their phone. Like when they actually, if they had it in their pocket, I had to wait till they pull it out. If they had it in their hand, I had to wait till they basically turned it in this way. Then I could see from the front display exactly which G2 he's talking about. Is it the HTC G2 for T-Mobile, or is it the LG G2? So those, I mean, those, the naming schemes today is just quite ridiculous. You know, um, I just, yeah, they suck at naming things really these days. Um, so anyhow, that's it for this morning's show. Not very long, but again, not a lot of things going on, except for the last thing I'll talk about, which is Cyanogenmod. Basically, just real quick. So in the blog post, there was a post that I was basically telling everyone that Cyanogenmod is not going anywhere. So people were thinking that because of they fired, because I speculated that because they were downsizing and they were laying people off, that Cyanogen was hurt in some sort of way business wise. In their blog, they reassured everyone that that's not the case. Yes, they're kind of like going to go focus with applications, but Cyanogenmod itself is not going anywhere. So everyone can expect a new, I would believe, what Android 7.0 in Cyanogen's world would be CM14. So you guys could expect the CM14 and further variants of Cyanogen based upon the new versions of Android. So they're not going anywhere, basically, is what they're saying in their blog post. They're not shutting down. They're not going to stop operations of custom ROMs or anything like that. They just downsized, technically, is what they're saying. Is like getting a nice like a nice turkey and then trimming, like taking all the trimmings off is basically the best analogy I can say to that. I don't know. I honestly should be a food blogger, because every time I have an analogy, it's always referencing the food, and obviously you guys can tell, and that makes me, basically a foodie, or excuse my French, but a fat ass or something, because I'm always mentioning food. It's probably because I haven't had breakfast yet, so I need to go eat breakfast. But anyways, yeah, so CyanogenMod not going anywhere, just downsizing. So that's really what it's all about. And yeah, that's it. So let's close out this morning's show. And what I want to do is end it out with some shout outs. So I want to give a shout out to Tech Right, shout out to Tito TV, shout out to Paul Tech, Next Gen Productions, and Magic Tech Reviews. And on that key with Magic Tech Reviews, because there's just been like this weird thing that happened yesterday, and another person kind of spoke on it. I don't really like to go the whole negative route, really, or just like completely hate on somebody. I know what that kid did. With the Python Gaming, what he did was kind of wrong, to make speculations like that and to do this whole video thing. I hate YouTube drama in that sense. And I said on my blog video on my blog channel that the kid is a kid. He's not going to understand certain aspects of life, because like what people are pointing out is that he's a kid. He lives at home with mom and dad. He plays video games all day, and yeah, that may be the case, and that's probably why he can't understand a lot of things that's going on, or what people do. But honestly, to me, I feel like this, and I'll be honest with rather than worrying about what the next YouTuber is doing, because that's what it seems like. What it's all about. It's all about the YouTube channels and getting help growing your channel and this and that. Like, it's always great when you have other colleagues on YouTube basically as support, and they support what you do, and you give some of that support back into what they do, and that's great. But ultimately, instead of picking fights with other YouTubers, which is what Python Gaming was doing, you really just focus on your videos. At the end of the day, just focus on your videos. I mean, that's the advice that I give to anyone that talks to me about YouTube and all this other stuff. It's like always tell them, like, don't worry about your view count. Don't worry about your subscriber count. Just focus on making the best videos that you can make. And the reason why I say that is, is because like he just goes on this whole thing about, I guess, like how videos were made, which I didn't take offense to it, because my channel, Aloha Android, that's where it's at for me. I record my videos with smartphones. I don't have camcorders to record videos, and the reason why is because that is the main thing about my channel, is that everything is pretty much like majority done with an Android smartphone. Every now and then I'll use a Chromebook to either record a video, do a live broadcast, but majority of everything is done through Android smartphones. And so for him to make that statement about your videos are shot with a smartphone, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, some of the smartphones today can pump out great videos. That's the way technology is going towards. But again, it's a kid. It's a kid that I don't want to say it's a kid that doesn't know anything. He knows something. He just for at his age, he knows only what he needs to know at his age, and he can't really fathom anything that an adult would go through, like paying bills, keep maintaining a roof over. Especially when you have kids, you gotta keep a roof over your kids' heads. You gotta feed them. You gotta put clothes on their back. It's not a simple thing, and doing that without relying on like government assistance, it's tough for some people. I can tell you right now, having kids is very expensive. So, especially, when they go to school and everything like that. So I can pretty much say this, like YouTubers do not need to worry about other YouTubers' personal lives. YouTubers just focus on the videos that you make and how you want to make them. If you want to make them like as close to as like, TV, style production, then do it that way. If you want to prove a point that, smartphones can pretty much hang with camcorders, do it that way. If you're into action sports, just do it however you want to do it. But that's my whole thing, is like, don't worry about what another YouTuber does. Don't worry if another YouTuber is getting support from people based upon whatever reason that they're doing it for. John has a very noble reason. I've said this before, which is why when someone jacked his videos, I said, I made a video about it. I talked about it, because his reasons, everything that he makes from YouTube, he makes anything from Patreon, he makes anything, outside of YouTube as far as like support, it goes to his son, Little John, and I believe him. And at the end of the day, like I told John, I don't feel like he has to answer to any one of us. That's we're nobody to really question his integrity. What he does is what he does at the end of the day. But yeah, he has a very noble reason for what he does, and I support it, and I don't doubt what he does. At the same time too, just people just gotta focus on their videos. YouTubers, focus on your videos. Don't focus on the next YouTuber and what they're doing. Worry about what you're doing. The whole sub for sub thing, I really don't care if a YouTuber goes that method to grow their channel or not. It really falls on them. Other people take, I guess, offense to that, or they look at it as lowly, and possibly so, because I can tell you, getting subscribers on YouTube is really, really, really hard. It really is. Right now, I am blessed to say that I have at least 4,700 subscribers. It could have dropped. It could have went higher. I don't know. But I can say this: those subscriber counts didn't come easy. And I sure as hell didn't get them by picking fights with people on YouTube. That's for one. I don't buy into that whole controversy sell. So I'm gonna start drama just to get people to look at my channel. Like, no. Each person that has subscribed for their reason, whether it's one video of mine that they liked, or maybe they liked a way I was doing videos. Yeah, I could say it was based on that. Like, I know that they don't like every one of my videos, because if they did, then my videos would have like a huge view rate. Some subscribers that have subscribed to me years ago probably don't even watch my YouTube channel anymore, and they subscribed to me way back in the day, but they just they're not up to date with the newest videos I put out. I know this, but I can say this though, even though it's taken since 2011, I started this channel, and we're in 2016, and I'm only at 4,000, almost 5,000 subscribers. And I can tell you this much: it's taken a lot of hard work. It's been time consuming. I can tell you that much, which is why lately things have slowed down on my channel, is because I haven't put all that time that I used to put into videos and that I used to put into my content. I really can't do that, especially with my kids starting school and whatnot. I gotta kind of focus on that. Plus, I'm also moving too. So, but just from that time to now, to get that many subscribers, to me is a blessing above all things. And not just having the subscribers, but actually people that are interacting with me is probably one of the best things. And I know I'm not the best person that gets back to everybody on YouTube as far as comments, but I try to leave methods of ways of people to get a hold of me when I'm not, focused on YouTube. So like through Hangouts, through Sideline text messaging, or through Facebook pages, through Google Plus community. I mean, there's just so many ways that people can get a hold of me through any of those avenues. But yeah, it's been a long, hard road, and I think that's the only thing I really take offense to PyDog Gaming and the things that he said about John and Magic Tech Review and all that stuff is, it's so quick to just talk some negative stuff and so quick to just, make all these accusations or whatever. But it's like, you got 300 and something subscribers, so obviously you are doing something right to slowly grow your subscription base. And even if some of those are sub for sub or whatever, there are still some people that subscribe to you because they like your videos. So focus on your videos. Stop worrying about what the next YouTuber is doing and worry about what the hell you're doing. That's where it's really at. So again, tip my hat off to John from Magic Tech Review. Shout out to him. And yeah, that's it. All right, I'm gonna close this out. So thanks for hanging out with me and watching this live broadcast. And again, I'm sorry if the quality was like all sketchy or whatever. Hopefully, when I move to the new place and I switch my my internet service provider, it'll be much better. But again, I'll see you guys tomorrow, and I don't know if I'm going to have any other videos being pumped out today, but if I do, you'll know. If you have your notifications on YouTube turned on, you'll know if I put up any other videos. Yeah, so have a blessed day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.